Ravage, I'm taking a look at this, and if you've been following the Unite scene from year one, you certainly should be aware of the name Crowley out of the Indian region, right? Really kind of made their name in the scene at Worlds year one, where they kind of showed up, and although India itself, the team, did not have the performance they were looking for, Crowley kind of balled out a little bit and really said, we've got some gamers out here, and put some respect on the Indian name. So I'm excited to watch Crowley play again. Zizo, of course, is terrific, but Tensei is another person that we've seen in tournaments play
Right.
alongside Crowley that I was messaging Crowley with, about 8 months ago, and they're like, I really think this player is solid. This is who I want to hook my train to and bring them along with me. So I love seeing the development in this region.
No, definitely. Tensei here has been a part of the scene since season 1 of Pokemon Unite, and he has been recognized as one of the best defenders in India. So that is something definitely everyone considers, and everyone is actually afraid of that Namo spine, or if it was a Trevenant. However, what I'm surprised to see is that uh, with the meta going on right now, with the all-rounders being so strong, we can see Talon PS banning Charizard. There was no ban for something like a Gyarados, a Blaziken, or a Cellulose from the side of Crowley's team.
Yeah, sometimes if you give your opponent the options of everything, that just means that you also get part of everything, right? So Leafeon, Armarouge selected first here from Talon, but there's a lot of great firepower-based Pokemon that is still available. And Crowley quickly locks in that Mimikyu, Vulcan grabbing Eldegoss. So they've got themselves a good supporter here. But I'm a little concerned because now Blissy's still available, which is a terrific supporter. But we'll see where Talon goes. They might think, hey, we have our supporter option, and they're going Clefable. This is terrific. This is just shades of development from a region, from two regions that keep moving forward. And the fact that Ceruledge might get picked fourth is just amazing, right? Miraidon picked fourth, amazing. That's just where we're at now in Pokemon Unite. Almost an abundance of powerful Pokemon to pick from. I mean, you have Blue Shifu too. I mean, this is terrific, my friend.
So I remember the time when if you had the first pick and you're not picking something like Slowbro and Blissey, you're not picking the right Pokemons to play. But right now, I believe the game has developed so much that you can actually counter pick the opponent. And I believe that's what's going on. Vulcan playing that Eldegoss, we know, as we have been in the Indian scene for quite long, it's gonna be a DPS heavy Pokemon. It's gonna deal a lot of damage. You can see the buddy barrier on that Eldegoss. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be involved in those fights. And yes, it's always amazing to see something like the two most powerful Pokemons here, Miraidon and Urshifu, being picked at the last part of the game is interesting. Serena, and there was no Cerulex taken, there was no Blaziken taken, there was
I
no
know.
Gyarados taken. I
This is
mean, at
crazy.
this point, if everything is overpowered, there's nothing that's actually overpowered, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. What I'm looking at here is the utter lack of range between these two teams, right? You mentioned the aggression. There is nobody hiding in the bushes trying to make some long range shots here. Everybody is going to be in each other's face, just throwing haymakers. And you can see why a Clefable might be leaned into versus a Blissey, because if everybody's going to be standing on one spot, that's a great way to capture everybody with Moonlight. It's a great way to capture everybody with Gravity, or even Follow Me if you go that route. So I expect Albert's going to have a very large stat line in that heal column at the end of this.
Right, and I believe with the fear of Clefable on the side of Talon, I don't think this will be a Blue Urshifu. I didn't see the build. I'm so sorry. But if they're going for Blue Urshifu and they counter pick with Gravity, that's gonna be a tough game for him. But with the single strike Urshifu, I believe you actually give your team a pretty good secure for the objectives. You already have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of DPS in terms of Mimikyu and Miraidon. But I'm not so sure about Miraidon's passive. That's why I don't play it in ranked games. It's very hard to control for me, and I don't know what happens when its passive turns on. So that's gonna be a problem. But yeah,
Here, anybody that tells you they know how Miraidon's passive works is lying to you. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Everybody will just read what the text says as if they understand, but nobody understands. Nobody understands. So don't worry about it.
yeah, definitely. So look at the team. You definitely need something to secure those objectives, right?
Yeah, no, and you're right. The Wicked Blow Urshifu is definitely a way to do it. But we've seen skilled Blue Shifu players play it into the face of Gravity because Gravity has a pretty long cooldown, right? once it dissipates. So it's essentially you engage to force it out, and then you retreat. And as soon as gravity goes down, you have about a 3-second window where you can just go crazy.
Right, and with that, we have a Leafeon on the side of Talonflame that is already causing a lot of chaos in the game. We have already seen the first knockout going down. And that's the thing with early spike Pokemons, right? You get the evolution, you get to your max evolution line, and then you just wreak havoc.
Oh, it is a Blue Shifu. So they're going to put the test to Albert on this Clefable, who goes down very quickly, getting a little taste of their own medicine as the orange team here, Talon, as they get put down. And now I'm looking at Player, and I'm thinking, if you've got this much confidence on a Blue Shifu in the face of a Gravity Clefable, they must have some hours on this Pokemon, right?
Oh, definitely. This is a team we are talking about that's been playing for a long time right now, and they have been participating in all these tournaments that's been going on. I was talking about how the teams got shuffled, right? How players have been shuffling. None of these players are anyone new to Pokemon Unite. All of these players have been in the scene since day one that Pokemon Unite started in India, and they know each other very well. However, the problem here that I see is that with that Miraidon, you did get the beast. That was a good rotation there. But in the end game, if you're not able to control that passive, that's going to be a problem.
No, very true. And honestly, Underlord Esports is behind on experience right now, right? They've tried to take some calculated fights, but they almost seem to be getting out-rotated. And we just saw it here. Telekinesis into the Surf, which gets all the time in the world that the rest of the Talon needs to just clear up all the birds. So they're just pushing this experience lead further and further ahead. Nice little Ice Fang on the slow, bro. We go right in. We've got the Zarina popping off, trying to stomp through the team. Ultimately, Miraidon goes down, but it's because the Leafeon was there downstairs, and the rest of Underlord just has to sit on pad and see if they can hold on.
Downside of playing a defender like Mammothman, that until you get to level 9, you don't get the entire stats of a Mammothman. You're still a Piloswine. You're playing on reduced stats. That's going to be a problem because you don't have the major defender, and that's Armarouth is getting the kills that it needs. It's already level 9 on that Leafeon, the passive finally connecting. 2 knockouts for Crowley there, make it 3. He's on the rampage, getting those experience back, and that's a great thing about Pokemon. There's always potential for comeback.
Always the potential for comeback, but always the potential to give up experience. And we just saw Talon do that, right? They had great rotation. They were doing well. And despite taking a very good team win, did Underlord Esports, they're still behind in experience, which is crazy, right? The fact they're able to make that happen is great, but they still have more work to do. We immediately see the 2-step, and Urshifu not willing to be a dance partner on that one. They go down quickly. Crowley putting in work on their own. Another KO streak, a 3-3, make it a 6-pack now between the two, and Tensai is just struggling as that pile of dirty laundry, the Piloswine, just saying, let me level up, let me get to this Mammothswine, please.
Right, and as I always say, an early spike Pokemon, something like a Leafeon, can really control the game so much. You see him running around the map so well, and this Miraidon is taking all the fights in the world. But you see something like that with so much mobility, with so much burst damage, it's just controlling the map at this point, going wherever he wants. It's another 5-man push. Top Talon on the top lane, taking down the Eldegoss, taking down the tier. They are certainly pushing their lead a lot further, but that Leafeon, it has its unite. The gravity goes on. The Serena finally takes out the Urshifu, and the push just continues. This is a very aggressive game.
It's very aggressive, but I'm happy to see Talon learning the lesson from the last time they got aggressive and actually peeling back before they can let Crowley absolutely pop off, right? Crowley was nowhere to be found there. They're trying to level up. They're trying to catch up. And because they weren't there, there wasn't this big counter punch availability open to Underlord Esports. So Talon, recognizing that, having the successful push, and then peeling back, only giving up one Pokemon in that exchange. That's exactly what they wanted to do, and they find themselves with about a 30-point lead.
Right, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go, you finally have a mammoth fight on your side. And yeah, with this 30 points lead, I don't believe it's a very big lead in terms of scores because
Yeah.
it, the game actually just depends on who's going to take the Rayquaza. And if you're
Hmm.
not going to take the Rayquaza, just how much you're going to defend in the end game. The
Good
Resi
secure.
Steel goes to Miraidon here, and I think it's going to be a push from Underlord Esports, and they are actually pushing. Look at that mammoth fight with that ice pack just going into the slug zone. Picking off the Pokemon, it's a Unite battle
You.
right here. Gravity coming on. Urshifu is in a bit of a pickle, but anyways, gets
Nice.
caught out.
Absolute beautiful push here. Split push by Crowley. Gets 50 up top. They're going to close this goal zone out. Bang with a 30 over. And all of a sudden, all of those points just bring back into the balance into the hands of Underlord Esports. And this Indian team is heating up. They have closed this level gap. Why? Because the Leafeon, I think it's that, like just into twice. They got caught twice. How does that happen? They got caught once, and then on the re-engage on the Registeel, they stepped back down. They got eaten up by an Ice Fang, the beautiful Miraidon Mimikyu follow-up, and they get knocked out quickly. Ravage, I'm telling you, this looked like it was in dire straits, but one good team fight and a little bit of a throw out of Talon, and means that Underlord Esports is in control at the 3-minute mark.
Right, and look at the Talon PS right now. They're going for the objective, which is good because if you actually get the information of who's gonna defend it, you can actually provide your team fight. Look at that, Leafeon again going to invade the jungle, getting spot on, losing half of its HP. But once the Mammoth Fight is online, it's actually causing a lot of trouble for this Leafeon.
Mm-hmm.
You are level 14, you're the highest level on your team, and somehow that we were saying they were always ahead on experience. But look at the experience on the side of Underlord Esports right now. Level 13 on
Ooh.
40 attackers, level 12 on Mammoth Spine, level 14, and we have a technical difficulty moment right now.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I was taking a look, and I'm glad that that Tensei got out of that because that telekinesis pull-in could have been dangerous, and they're gonna need Tensei to lead the charge here as the Mamoswine going into this Ray fight. We've got 10 seconds till Ray. We've got Underlord Esports up by 120 points, 130 points. We'll see how Talon reacts.
Right, the problem is that Armor didn't get its level 13. That's gonna be a big problem. When your attacker is not hitting those power spike levels, it's not getting the plus moves. It's gonna be a problem in the end fight. And the fight might... Okay, the passive actually... The passive is gonna be a problem.
We're just dropping some thunderbolts on top of the Slowbro here, and it's actually stressing resources. It doesn't look like it's doing much, but it is forcing this Clefable to babysit Slowbro. We had a Surf engage in. It's only catching Tensai. Slowbro's going back. Thunder's laying on top of their head, and now they're looking to push. We have Serena engaging on Tensai. They know this Mamoswide's the problem. Telekinesis up. I don't even think they got their Unite off. That's amazing catch. Well to push in. Crowley went for the back cap action, and they're moving through, but so is Leafeon. They're moving in the bottom tier to goal zone. How's Crowley going to approach this? They've got some prime targets to pick off in the back. They're going straight through it. Blue Shifu is going to need to pop off. Slow beam over Rhydon, gone! And now Blue Shifu is moving through. They don't have any support. This Leafeon stepped back, peeled off the back cap, and they're smothering this team. Just Crowley and Tensai coming back off respawn, see what they can do. Crowley's not willing to engage just yet. Rayquaza's getting shredded though, and this might be an opportunity. Telekinesis on Tensai. Rayquaza's getting down. Crowley goes in. Tensai takes it. What a legend! Can they actually convert though? They don't have any shields. They're smothering the shields. Just Tensai has it. Crowley needs to run. KO streak of 2. Are they going to get points? And doesn't matter. 40 seconds left. Ravage.
Right, and with everyone saving their Unite, since I didn't get to use his Unite, he secured that with his Unite move. I don't think they needed to score that much.
Oh
Probably get
God.
another it. Miraidon's Unite is still up. All they need to do is defend their tiers right now. They were already ahead in the score. They knew that they did not have to score. They just needed one Pokemon to secure. And all while the game was going on, I was saying the secure is going to be the Urshifu. It wasn't a single strike Urshifu. It was a rapid strike one. But in the end, who would have thought it was going to be the Mammoth Unite stealing away the game from Talon PH here.
Why do you need a Wicked Blow Urshifu? Why do you need a single strike Urshifu when you have Mamoswine that got caught and folded so quickly they didn't get to use their Unite move, so they could just use it for the secure later? It's all part of the deeper strategy, Ravage, and that's why you and I are in the booth and these players are playing the game.
Well, definitely this is gonna be a moment that a lot of players are gonna look back at, slow down the stream on YouTube, and see exactly what happened. It's gonna be something new in their sleeves, right?
Well, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go for something too new up the sleeves. Like I said, I think they had a good strategy. I think the execution. There were some moments that left to be something to be desired. They weren't too far off, right? I mean,
Mhm.
they were good in that final team fight. They were decent on experience. Yes, they're behind on the score, but after you take a team fight like that, you expect to take Ray and win. So hopefully they don't mix things up too much.
Right. I was looking at the footage back again, and it was again the Mammoth Spine Unite just made everyone stun, and he just jumped on Rayquaza and that it was gone. Anyways, looking at Talon here, the Miraidon has been a nightmare for them, and we can clearly see that Crowley doesn't want to play against something like Hoopa. There's no more
No.
rotations here, and Leafeon, yes, it did cause a lot of problems for them.
Yeah, so they definitely used some lessons learned from that last game, right? Miraidon banned, we have Leafeon banned, and it looks like we're going to go straight back into Armarouge here. Slowbro would have been a solid choice too, honestly.
Mhm.
But Armarouge being selected, there's a good comfort, and it's a strong Pokemon. But this field is wide open now for Underlord Esports.
Right. And with Leafeon gone, I think Tensei might change his defender, and that's what we see. You see an Umbreon unlocked, and you definitely want to pick this Pokemon. It's amazing when it comes to support, defending. It can do everything. It has the potential of early spike. It can roam around the map a lot, getting you enough information. And that Gyarados, if you're not able to shut that down, it's an early game menace.
It's an early game menace. It's a whole game menace. We'll see what they do. But now we have tons of powerful Pokemon, right? We have Blissey
Right.
Umbreon, great picks. But on the other side, Gyarados and Ho-Oh. That full team resurrection ability, that Unite move is huge, especially in coordinated play. And Crowley quickly lines up Zacian. Listen, these aren't EXs anymore, Ravage. These are just regular Pokemon. Do you believe it?
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, yes, they're legendary for a reason, right? If it's a legendary Pokemon, if it's a mythical Pokemon, it needs to have something that puts it apart from the group, right? And Cyrillic finally coming into play, and Talon saying that Urshifu might have been a good pick, but as we were saying, all-rounder meta, and you see a lot of all-rounders all around.
All rounders all around indeed, as Dad is hovering Urshifu, and last minute pivot here, Dodrio gets picked up. So a little speedster going to step into the map. And Dodrio has enough to be a menace. I don't know if it has any what you would consider prime targets yet, but we'll see where EXO decides to wrap up their draft. And there's a lot of good options for them right here.
A lot of good options for Seashell, true, but Mew, I believe I haven't seen a lot of Mew these days. So it's a great Pokemon. It used to be, but look at the teams right now. We see a lot of legendaries. We see a lot of mythicals, and
Mhm.
Dodrio. I don't see where it fits here. Yes, if it's gonna target someone, it's gonna be the Mew. It's a good Pokemon for secure, but when you're going up something against Cerulege and a Zacian, is it the right pick to go for Talon Philippines?
Well, you got to think, Dodrio might be targeting the Mew, but Mew has one of the best get out of jail free
Right.
card Unite moves in the game, right? So
True.
anytime that they feel the pressure of this Dodrio and get in trouble, they're just going to enter the smoke, and then and then they're just going to fade somewhere else on the map, probably towards their Zacian and Ceruledge. So if that follows in, they're going to get folded up. Game two, we're getting right into it. Underlord Esports with a crazy comeback off the back of Tensai and their amazing Mamoswine Unite move. Let's see how Talon from the Philippines reacts.
Right. Look at Talon's team here. They're definitely going for a double defender comp because looking at their comp, they only have one all rounder. The team is a bit squishy compared to what uh, Underlord has here. With the
Mm-hmm.
Zacian, a lot of bulk. With the Umbreon, a lot of bulk. Blissey can also tank a lot of damage. And then you have a team that has a lot of squishies. Double defender might have been the way to go, but then you're missing out a lot on healing. So
Right.
in the early team fights, it's gonna be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, what's really unique about Ho-Oh is, yes, it's a defender, right?
Mhm.
It does a great job early. It has good resiliency, but you don't really want a Ho-Oh fighting in the front line in a team fight because
Right.
they cannot get caught before using their Unite moves. You actually want other players to go down first so you can get maximum value. So that's kind of the ebb and flow of having a Ho-Oh on your team. Is how do you make sure that they are there frontlining to some degree while always being in the right position to be able to effectively use their Unite move?
Right, and I have been playing a lot of ranked matches these days, and a lot of hosts picks up in my matches. And I remember there was a good hope I was playing with this morning, and I believe that was yesterday night for you. But we left the hoe alive, and that guy just forgot to keep scores in his hand. So instead of reviving the whole team, he just revived one person, and we lost a match. But never mind that. So that's gonna be a problem, right? Because Zacian needs scores. Ho needs scores, and looking at the team here, a lot of them actually need experience. You need to be above the levels of your opponent to actually deal some damage. Something for Dodrio, that's true. Something for Ho-Oh, if you need to revive your team, you need a lot of scores, but then your Dodrio is going to be stacking. Your Gyarados is going to be stacking. How do you collect scores in this game?
Well, it's going to be tough early. I think right now you don't really want the Ho-Oh focusing on worrying about what they have in their pockets, right? Don't even think about that until you have their Unite move. Make sure that everybody else gets their pockets full as they need it a little bit more in the early parts of the game. Now, the early parts of the game is a little slow for the purple side for Talon. So how they're going to be able to transition to the mid game is going to be important.
Right, look at that Mew, he's already in position. I believe he has a Solar Beam right now. I didn't see, okay, it's Electro Ball. Don't you actually getting the knockout on Tensei, taking down the defender. Slow Bro taking down the Mew. It's a good early team fight from Talon once again. They are always in control of this early game fight. That's something really good to see. Taking in control early, but we have already seen how this side on the orange side, which is Underlord Esports, I believe. They have a different name actually. They have True Gravity as their name in the Indian meta, so I always go back to True Gravity. But look at that Dojo. It's very obvious that all these early games, the Talon actually has one player who's roaming around the map. The last game it was Sylveon. This game it's another fight breaks down. Dojo taking down Azation is big. A lot of things is happening right now. A good team fight. That Gyarados coming online is huge for Talon right now. 2 picks for Mew. Make it 2 for Gyarados as well. It's taking that trade finally, but it's the targeted duo taking each other down. It's always good to see.
I mean, every single person who thought they were the last person in getting the last knockout finds themselves getting snuffed out right away. I mean, that Armarouge pot shot on their Cerulege on the Char Cadet counterpart was awesome. What a good little exchange. You could see the scoreline barely move despite, 7 knockouts happening, right? And now we have the Dodrio. Is it going to get bullied out? Certainly doesn't feel like it. Gyarados bounces in, tons of damage on Crowley, who goes straight back in, can't quite secure, and gets knocked out for that effort. At that point, if you're Crowley, you make the right call. You have to go in and try and at least get the objective for your team. Didn't quite work out there. And now we've got a heck of a split push. We'll see where Crowley goes. They're not really going to be able to stop any of the scores, so it looks like they're going to jump into the central and make their way back towards the rest of the team.
Right, there's no point surviving. You cannot run away from Dodrio, so you had to go for the objective here. And Talon, again, just taking control of the early game so good. And they're doing a great job disengaging this time. And again, they're putting up the base. Dodrio getting the kill on that Blissey is big. Zacian goes down again. The target is using the Unites again. And Cerulege, he tried his part, but he did go down. Getting in the fight with 5 players, it was that burden for Tensei right here. I don't think he's gonna survive, but backup comes in the form of Zishol there, and I don't think he will survive either.
I mean, and that was a Mew Unite to try and chase down Dodrio. We couldn't even get that knockout. Now they're gonna close this goal zone. We have a gargantuan score for Talon right now, 269-34. They're gonna get this Regieleki for free. If I am Underlord Esports right now, I am focusing on my wild farm, I am focusing on insulating these goal zones, and I'm focusing on being together because Talon is not approaching these goal zones split. They're approaching full force. We've got to fight. We've got a quick Umbreon getting in there and then quick Umbreon getting knocked out. Cerulege can't even make themselves a presence. Gyarados Unite pops on top of the goal zone. This Regieleki's sitting on the doorstep. 3 players down in a heartbeat. Regieleki hits. The scores are going in, and this is getting to be a hair ridiculous out here, Ravage, as the Ho-Oh Unite pulls back two, right back into the action. That spells devastation for Underlord Esports, who's getting put to the underworld right now. Regieleki still hits a few moments on the timer, and they're going to be able to score some more, and they're going to close this thing out. +7, 376 to 34. Ravage. There is some true ravaging happening on this map right now. Holy smoke.
Right, and that's the thing with Ho. Once your team goes down, if your Ho is still standing, you're not actually down. Right, it's not over till it's all over for Talon. With that Ho on the squad, it's doing a lot of damage. Not damage in the sense of damage numbers, but damage in the state of their mental health right now. For Talon, it's amazing to have two frontliners. You have the Ho that can actually tank damage. You don't want it to die. But then you, for the second defender, you have Slowbro that's already taking your engages. Look at that Cerulean. The targeted duo are not going to stop. Gyarados, we know it's a menace. It's doing a lot of menace. The great thing about Ho, what I'm seeing right now, it's Albert, I believe. And with that Sky attack, it's creating a zone where you can actually take those fights. You're taking constant damage. Your team is getting slowed. And that's amazing to take team fights right here. You have a Gyarados that can dive in the comp. Umbreon unites because there was a timer. You're gonna get the unite back again, but yeah, he's not able to get away from you. Sarkid, yeah, it's quite broken right now. So with
Yeah.
that sky attack zone that it creates, it's getting a lot of space for its team to actually take the fight.
I mean, you have to secure that if you're Underlord Esports. You know, Tensai did everything they could to stall two players from joining that fight, right? That's what they were doing, using their Unite move, keeping two players from Talon occupied. So you had a 4 versus 2, or a 4 versus 3 in the top path, and you can't secure that Regieleki, and now it's going towards your home goal zone with 2 minutes and 30-ish seconds left in this match. Ravage, that does not look great for the Indian team.
Oh, definitely it does not. And it was the Gyarados who actually secured it with the Dragon Pulse, and you have to take it down. And what you're giving right now, you're giving a lot of information to Talon Esports that where your players are actually standing. With the Zacian in the top lane, you know where they're coming from, you know where their carries are gonna come from. They need to take down that Zacian that might be a problem in the end game. It deals a lot of damage. It's a legendary for a reason that I always say. And looking at the teams right now, it's in position for Talon. They have a great positioning in the pit, and it's gonna be tough for Underlord Esports to actually get in the zone right now.
They're gonna have to though. They're getting bullied out by Talon because they're just bigger, and I don't think that's an understatement here. How they're going to work in is going to be important. We're going to bide our time. We're going to count our seconds. We're getting great spacing by Exol and this Mew, trying to figure out where this Talon team is hiding out. How are they going to engage? And it might just be go straight for the Rayquaza, start ripping it, and that's what they're doing. They're putting a ton of damage on. We've got the Dodrio going straight for the Mew, forcing out the Unite move. Rayquaza's so low. Talon's not even here, though. Who's going to take it? The Dodrio for the third secure in a row. How does this happen? I did not know that Dodrio was such a securing menace, but because of that, 3 players go down instantly. And yeah, if I'm Underlord Esports, I'd FF2 because that was an ugly game.
Right, I'm not sure if Electro Ball was the right move to go for the secure right there, but Dodrio, I believe that's what happens when you take something you're so comfortable with. And once you're so comfortable with something like a Dodrio, that's what happened the entire game. The Dodrio came, the Dodrio that away with the objectives, and it's amazing to see a Dodrio securing in the face of
To their strategy. You just can't.
right. Talon again banning that Charizard. They don't want to play against this as Armor Roots is actually getting banned. And we did see Armor Roots try hard playing Armor Roots on both the maps and dealing a ton of damage. We're talking about 71,000 damage in the last game. I believe it was somewhere around 70 in the previous game as well. And Miraidon, I'm not sure Miraidon was that big of a problem if you're able to pick him off so early. And Miraidon and Charizard, it seems to be their pick. Ho, as we are talking about, yes, that's going to be a problem. They don't want to deal with the team twice if you're actually letting them take Ho.
Yeah, Ho-Oh is my default ban whenever I'm playing ranked. If I'm in the banning slot, I always ban Ho-Oh, no questions asked. I don't want to deal with that either. I'll deal with anything else in the game. I don't want to deal with that. So it looks like they went with the exact opposite direction. Get rid of Ho-Oh because that Unite move is
Mhm.
crazy. And then a bunch of offensive options. Tensai straight back onto the Mamoswine, but that leaves great options for Talon right now.
I don't I don't understand picking your defender the first. I don't think I have seen Talon playing Mammoth Spine that much often, but with the Hooper available, that was the first pick on Albert's side here. Talon securing that Hooper, we know how problematic a Hooper can be. You have your rotations with the Unite move, you can have your team ready to go at all points. On this
Mm-hmm.
side of Underlord here, we see the Leafeon coming in. Gyarados, so they're actually taking the offensive problems that were the problem to them and getting it on their side.
Yeah, but they're leaving, that amazing support core over to Talon right now. I mean, Hoopa, terrific Pokemon. Umbreon, terrific
Mhm.
Pokemon. Pikachu getting picked there is a bit surprising, but Pikachu has stocks have just been going up, up, up over these last couple patches. So, Vulcan's gonna get the Gutter Eldegoss, which I like picking it there. I don't think they needed to pick it any earlier. And we have a Mewtwo Y. We are in a different world right now, Ravage. Different world.
Right, with the X Pokemon not being X anymore, and again that with that Dodrio. So I believe there's something to do with that comfort, but no, he's going for Cerulean. I respect that choice much more than I respected Dodrio. But yes, the problem with Pikachu, problem with Pikachu is it's gonna just sit in the back end, it's gonna sit in the bush, and this rain thunder on you does a lot of damage if you can keep that Pikachu alive. If there are no, the problem is that there are two divers on the side of Underlord Esports. You take that Leafeon, it's gonna dive the entire game. You take that Gyarados with that bounce, with that Dragon Pulse, it's actually gonna dive a lot on your team. And you
Right.
have targets for them. The Ceruledge, yes, it's an all-rounder, but once it gets caught, once its moves are on cooldown, it might be a little bit problematic to escape from the Gyarados. Same with Pikachu, that's a target. Right, that's the target you
Mhm.
actually look for in a game when you're playing something like Gyarados or Leafeon.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting song and dance that these two teams are going to have to do, right? When to engage, how, because they have some good counterplay on each side if you engage in a
Mhm.
less than optimal manner. So this is truly going to come down again to execution. And I
Right.
hope that Underlord Esports has learned from the first two games that when Talon rotates, they rotate with the team. So if
Hmm.
you're not going to be contesting them with your entire team, find value somewhere else. Just don't have four players get wiped for no value anywhere.
Right. And there's one thing I forgot to point out. Yes, they have a lot of dive, but then Talon has an Embryon. So mean look, and the dive is completely shut down, right?
That's true. That's very true. And the Umbreon is going to have to shut those things down. They're going to have to. There's no questions asked. The pressure is on ton.gg to make sure that that happens.
Right, and with that Magikarp flopping around in the top lane, that's gonna be an interesting lane because you don't want that Magikarp to gain the effort gauge, right? You don't want it to contest the farms, you don't want it to contest you because everything gives it effort gauge. Definitely, you don't want it to have a knockout, but look at that. The Hoopa is actually on the invade right now. They know there's a
Mm-hmm.
Gyarados, it's gonna be an easy lane for that Mimikyu. It's not gonna take an easy KO on that Mimikyu. And with the invade, actually the problem with that is if you're going with the Leaf and jungle, it actually doesn't need that level 5. With level 4, it has its power spike, taking down that Mimikyu and actually pushing in the tier 0. Let's comes in for support, takes down that Magikarp. It's a tough life being a Magikarp.
It's tough indeed. I want to give all the credit to Talon here. That was a delayed Hoopa invade to show right as the Leafeon was hitting their level 4. And instead of ganking the top path, they pivoted back, didn't even get the Hoopa knocked out. They didn't help their Magikarp get a knockout in the top path when the Mimikyu was alone, and they could have 3v1'd it and taken over the pad. So
Right.
just that delayed invade Hoopa was really supposed to do nothing more than to show and draw attention, and it worked. And not only that, they left with a buff and didn't get knocked out. I mean, that is just every form of disaster that Underlord Esports could have drummed up, and honestly, incredibly predictable too. So if I'm
Mhm.
Underlord Esports, you got to recognize that you just got tricked. Fool me once, but you cannot get tricked twice.
Right, that's exactly what you need in an invade, right? That's ideal situation when you are invading, you get the value of your invade, you don't give your knockout, and you get your team to actually push the lane. Look at that Cyril, it's going crazy right now. Level 7 already, and we have seen this time and again, Talon actually takes the lead every time in the early game.
They do because they have a stronger early game period. Their team is on the same page. They're moving the way they're supposed to, and they're all going in on it. Finally, we have 5 players in the top path and 4 Underlord Esports, and guess what? They got a couple knockouts, and then now they're on the offensive. They have a good opportunity here. They decide to dissipate this push a little bit. Now Umbreon's going to roll back through the center and going to be able to make some magic happen because now Crowley's not there anymore. And now they're about to get, 4v4 but without Crowley, and all this damage is getting put in. It's on the Leafeon now to get all of these knockouts. They got 2, and that's a heck of a way to start. Let's see. Okay, that was enough to at least settle things down, which is, I think, everything Underlord Esports could have asked for.
Definitely, and with the objective online right now, Reggie Lucky, this is the first major fight that actually needs to go in someone's favor, and it goes in the favor of Talon. Mimikyu securing in the face of Leafeon, in the face of Mewtwo, is something that you actually don't want to see.
Don't want to see? I mean, that's the 4th one in a row that they've taken out from under you. Like, this is crazy. Now, because of that, they're able to over-rotate bot. They eliminate Crowley. They take the basement Reggie. And Underlord Esports is getting stressed all over this map. I mean, to be quite honest, we can't pull any punches here. Talon is just playing better.
Oh, definitely, they're playing much better. And I don't know how they're giving out secures to Pokemon that don't actually needs to get those secure. If this happens in a ranked game, I would just call out my team for not playing good enough. But I definitely don't want to say that team so well into competitive as Underlord Esports. And again, they're having a lot of troubles getting those levels. Look at that Hoopa. He's ready. He's gonna score there. He might even get his Unite and call his team. He did not get his Unite. That's pretty sad. Level 8 on the edge of level 9. That Cyril is gonna try to defend. It's a full bad push on the bottom side, but with that Hoopa highway online, they are here with the Unite. The team has been called. It's a massacre in the bottom lane. The Gyarados is gonna have to survive this. He won't survive this. What am I saying?
No, I mean,
yeah.
This is just another perfect example of just getting outgamed a little bit. Player right here, they used their Emerald 2-step, but the Phantom Force out of Ceruledge just dodged it. They couldn't even lock down the target they went for. So then all of a sudden this fight goes absolutely sideways. They've bought enough time for the Hoopa, who's backcapping, to come back through, use their Unite move and defend. And now it's 220-19. They're up by 200 points, Ravage. And this is a problem because we have just passed the 5-minute mark. You'd think we'd been watching this game for 20 minutes.
Right, at this point, I would call this bullying. Every time they see base not being defended by anyone of Underlord Esports, they just dunk for 40. Dunk for 40 is a lot. Finally, something goes in the favor of... Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. It's the Hoopa's portal securing that Regieleki. The Pikachu has united. It might not be able to take that Gyarados, but it did a lot of damage to them. And yes, the Mimic actually getting that trade. Mammoth's needs to fall back. I think they've got the comp that they actually wanted. It's a great comp, and the Hoopas actually united. Cyril will take that Regieleki. The fight is going on the top lane. This is just bullying at this point.
Yeah, understatement. This is way more than bullying. This is a crime. This is what's happening here. The Regieleki hits. Crowley can't do anything. There's nobody there to support them. I mean, Mewtwo's trying to lay in some pot shots. Crowley's taking so much damage. They're at least able to lock down an Umbreon, but we call that a non-prio target. Like, taking out the Umbreon doesn't actually help here. At least Mega Mewtwo Y was able to get a KO streak for themselves. Fortunately, the experience isn't too crazy. Right? The scoreline is ridiculous, 280 point differential there, but the experience isn't too bad. If they can stop losing some team fights, focus on getting even bigger, and then take like the first commanding team fight of the game at this Rayquaza for themselves, then they've got a shot.
Right, Talon doesn't need to do anything other than Rayquaza. They know for Underlord Esports, the only way they can win this game is secure that Rayquaza. And they might just play around it again because they have been stealing objectives the entire game, the
Yep.
entire set, I would say, from under the nose of Underlord Esports. So there's something that goes on your mental, right? That if we start this Rayquaza, if we try to secure it, they might just steal it again. So they might just play with the mental of
Hmm.
Underlord Esports here. They might not need to start the fight. They never need to start the fight here. So they can just play on the back end here. They just want to defend their goals. And with the entire squad here, this might be another engage here at the Regieleki.
Little concern. I haven't seen the Leafeon move for a minute. Looks like they're back. If I'm Hoopa, I'm going straight for the Yamada play, right? I'm the Hoopa. I'm going to go towards that home goal zone. It is unlocked. As soon as Ray hits the map, I pull the entire team through, and we score a bunch in the home goal zone. And I think that would become an insurmountable win for Underlord Esports. Doesn't look like Talon wants to make that sneaky play. They want to play this thing straight up. 3 seconds till Ray. Great positioning by Underlord Esports. They're putting tons of pressure on. Tensai goes for the engage. They found an Umbreon. We're going back upstairs. Leafeon's getting soloed out a little bit and bullied towards the home goal zone of Talon. Nice reset by Tensai as the rest of the team is going to be in the middle. If they're not working on Rayquaza, they certainly should because they've got Talon on the ropes chasing all the way around the map. Hoops unbound, rings unbound, fists are also unbound as they're finding their mark on Crowley. Rayquaza's getting chipped in, and it's about 60%, 70% there. Mimikyu gonna get popped up after a Mamoswine Unite. Nice Ice Fang, but the big laser beam from the big mythical Pokemon takes out a couple targets. Now, we've got one player down to Ceruledge. Is that enough? That's a question mark. I don't think it is going to be. Ton is leashing them around. They keep going through. They're popping their Unite move. They're going straight for it. Eldegoss is just A-pressing them down. Crowley goes straight to the backline, forcing out the Pikachu Unite, and they use their own. Can they get a good target? They do. Pop up. Mimikyu can't reach. All right, now you got to take Rayquaza right now. Got to hope this Eldegoss comes back on the map to game because they got 1 minute to score. Ravage, they're going to have to keep this pressure on. Talon is right there. We have a nice bounce to the middle. Rayquaza's getting low. Talon, they need to go in. They need to get it secure. Leafeon gets it. Can they actually go score, though? They rip some shields. 3 players out, 4 players down. Underlord Esports has a real opportunity. And you know what they say in the biz here, Ravage? It's Hundo Burger time. There's the first one. Give me number 2.
The second one, and finally, Underlord Esports finally getting one objective in their favor, and it's the one that mattered the most. The third game, the last objective final, Rayquaza going in the favor of Underlord Esports. This game has been in control of Talon the entire time, and then you lose it once. It's just one team fight that matters in this entire game.
So Underlord Esports, we have to talk about how good they played that last 2 minutes, right? I said it 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Their experience is actually looking really good. If they can keep their experience lead, keep that push up, then they've got a real chance to take the first quality team fight that they've been able to in that final stage of the game, and that was at Rayquaza. And what did they do? They immediately collapsed on Rayquaza. They sent, I think it was Player on the Leafeon. They sent them across the map, grabbing the attention of 2. They were able to jump and identify where the players are, and then they just started hitting Ray, forcing Talon to come in, but they saw that the Leafeon was there and they were chasing them all over the map, and it ended up splitting Talon up, kind of like Talon